Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on to NFL season. We had a big
NFL.
week last week. A couple games. Julie, what do you want to bring up from the NFL week the past week?
Obviously, one of the biggest, let's say, football news, not outside of football news. Biggest football news was Von Miller getting traded to the Rams. Rams gave up a second and a third round pick in this upcoming draft to bring Von Miller over to the already deadly Rams defense to join Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey and the boys to continue to cement themselves as a Super Bowl contender this season. And Gabe, was this a good trade for the Rams? Do you think it will actually benefit them? Do you think Von Miller is still the same Von Miller? Real quick, I do think he's been playing pretty well this season. But the Rams continue to go on this trend of just completely offloading their picks and completely going all in on free agents and veterans.
Von Miller is washed. He's the worst player to end up. What are you talking about? Of course, this is fucking excellent. This is fantastic. Like, who would have thought Von Miller would have been going to the fucking Rams? Listen, I knew a couple years that the Rams were fucking going all in. Obviously, they made a big trade last year, getting Matt Stafford from the Lions, trading over. You signed freaking Aaron Donald. You signed Ramsey. Defensively they're going to be solid. And this is just fucking like they're making a fucking all-star team on fucking defense. They should be fucking amazing.
Bro, they got no picks until like round 4.
Listen,
for like 2 years, for like 2 or 3 years, they have like no picks.
Who cares when you're the champs? And when I think of,
but what if they're not? What if they're not the champs? What if they fail and bust? Now how the fuck are you gonna rebuild? Now, all fucking gone. Like,
I don't know how they can keep all these guys. I don't know how they're gonna make the money work and keep all these guys.
That's another question too. How the hell are you gonna This ain't Tampa. It's not like it's Tampa where you won a championship and you can convince people to rerun it back. The Rams haven't done it yet, so.
But they got rid of the team. I think of them as a defensive team first, even though their offense is playing amazing. You know what I mean? Their offense is playing really well. But I think of it as a defensive team first, and just adding Von Miller is, that's like, whoa. It's like, you thought that the Rams were good. You know what I mean? Now they add another great defensive piece.
Oh, yeah. Von Miller is just solid. And this is a plus for Von Miller because all what's going to happen to Von Miller is he's going to get freed up more. Because when Chubb got injured over in Denver, obviously he's going to start getting more attention. But now that you have Aaron Donald in the middle, and you still got Fowler on the other end, and now you have Von Miller on that end. It's just going to free up Von Miller to just absolutely fucking eat. He's going to, I think he's going to do really well. You're going to see his sack numbers skyrocket from what we saw from what he would have had in Denver. Denver defense is still really good, obviously. Denver lacks they lack some weapons. They lack a solid quarterback who can really run up the score. Teddy Bridgewater's great, but Teddy Bridgewater's just a really good backup. I mean, let's just be honest. He's a really good backup. That's all he is. In a division where you have Derek Carr, Justin Herbert, and Patrick Mahomes, Teddy Bridgewater's just not going to do it for you, and they have to do something. They need to either bring in a rookie or go after a big-time free agent. Looks like it might be leaning more towards the rookie with the way the season is going. It might be a middle of the draft pecking order type of team. They might go 8 and 9, 9 and 8, whatever like that. But as for go back to the Rams, this is they're really, like I said, it's one of those where it's you're going all in, and if it fails, it's going to be bad. I don't think it will. I think there's just too much talent on that team. But man, if it does, it's going to be rough.
And going forward, the Rams have a pretty tough schedule. They're going to play the Titans. They're going to play the 49ers, Green Bay, Arizona, Minnesota, or at Minnesota, at Baltimore. So they got a tough schedule to hold. This season's not going to be easy. And just adding that padding your defense like that is going to be, it's going to do wonders for them going forward this season. I expect them. I still think they're favorites. They were favorites before this trade. I still think they're favorites. To win. They
did lose against Arizona.
They did lose to Arizona 37-20. But They can run it back, man. This time is going to be tougher because they're
They
at
should
Arizona,
they should split. Yeah, they should split.
but
I
it's
think
at Arizona. So that's tough. So
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and the Green Bay got out there with the skin of their teeth. Like so, it's like
we'll see, man. I think the Rams are a good team, man.
NFC's tough, dude. I mean, I feel like NFL these past couple seasons have gotten so good with the competition in the top half of the league. Like, I mean, it is. I couldn't tell you who's going to the Super Bowl. I really couldn't. Like I could kind of tell you last year that the Chiefs are probably going to run it back, but NFC was wide open. This year, I have no idea. Like, because obviously the Bills are the favorites to probably come out of the AFC, but even then, I still think somebody can take them down. I don't necessarily think they're completely like guaranteed in, and the NFC is. I mean, we just saw Green Bay beat Arizona, so it's wide fucking open. Like it's wide open. I mean, you got Arizona. New Orleans seems to be a team who just finds a way to win. Tampa, Los Angeles, like Green Bay. You have a really good, and I'm missing Cowboys. Mostly with the fucking Cowboys, but it's I think this is the Rams seeing how the rest of the NFC teams are playing is like kind of put them in a corner where it's like, all right, we thought we did enough this offseason. We need to do even more. And I'm not surprised that maybe Von Miller is getting shopped anyways, like by the Broncos. I think Von Miller is a great player, but I can see with the position where the Broncos are at, I can see them shopping him. You know what I mean? So I think it worked out for both. I think it was just a deal that the Denver just couldn't pass up. I mean, a second and a third rounder how long has Von Miller been in the league? Like,
he's been in there for a minute. I know
it's been a while. Like what, 7 years now? Like,
yeah. But yeah, it should be good for the Rams. It should have had a good team going forward. Like I said, they have a tough schedule, so we shall see. We'll keep.
He's 32, so yeah. he's
getting up there.
Wasn't he there during the Tom Brady? Tebow, yeah, 2011, yeah. Okay. I would say he was there during the Tebow year. Yeah, so I mean, he was at Denver for 10 years. He's going into this is his 10th season. So